first, fast, accurate. With Jennifer Copeland and Rick Shutt. You're watching WSBT-22 News at 6.
Well, new at 6, a new plan means it wouldn't cost you as much to deal with vacant and abandoned houses in South Bend.
The goal is to make the owners of those homes pay a fee if the city has to track them down. WSBT-22's Kelly Stopczynski is looking into what it all means. And Kelly, this is an ongoing problem for the city.
Jennifer, code enforcement says finding people who own those homes is the most difficult part of the 1,000 Homes in 1,000 Days project. And right now, tracking them down is costing taxpayers $300 per house. Born and raised in South Bend,
If we don't stop it now, it only gets bigger.
James Seward is no stranger to the vacant and abandoned housing problem here.
I think somebody should have to pay it up. The lowest is not the taxpayers.
Council President Tim Scott agrees.
If you're going to own a home, whether it's occupied or not, you should be responsible for that.
He drafted an ordinance that would bump the vacant building property registration fee from $50 to $300 a year and offset the city's cost of tracking down the people who own these buildings.
The good thing about the bill is if you're registering your property with the city voluntarily, you won't get the fee. If you stay in communication, you're working on your property, you're in communication with code, you're not going to get the fee.
Here's the breakdown. The city says 44% of vacant and abandoned homeowners live in South Bend or Indiana. The other 56% live in other states or even out of the country. Right now, 400 homes have owners who are considered unresponsive.
Fortunately, we go to try to send them letters, and we come to find out that they have since moved on. They have no forwarding address. We've actually found some few owners have since deceased, which is why we're not getting their information.
Code enforcement says the new ordinance would hold those property owners accountable to register in a certain amount of time.
If they don't, we will actually send that information to our legal department, which then forwards it to a collections agency from that point. So sometimes that does work.
So this is the first time the city's tried sending unresponsive property owners to collections agencies. Code says cities like Gary, Indianapolis, and Evansville are all exploring the same issue and dealing with the same problem. Scott's ordinance is going before the Common Council tonight with a favorable recommendation for a vote. Jennifer.
All right, Kelly, I mean, you think about how many houses they've addressed. You found out the city has addressed more than 75% of the 1,000 homes in 1,000 days.
And the deadline for that initiative is November. Those homes have either been repaired, demolished, contracted for demolition, or the city's working with a nonprofit or some other organization to repair them. In all, the city's working to address about 1,300 vacant and abandoned properties and will continue to do so after that November deadline.